Hey, Amy Posner here, and I want to talk to you about niching. And there's a couple of different ways you can niche. You can niche in a client or industry type, and you could also niche in copy. Okay, so I was the copywriter who never industry niched. I copy niched. I did sales pages and I did lead gen funnels primarily. I did a lot of landing pages back in the day too. But for a long time, I liked the diversity. I liked learning new things. I got bored easily. I still do get bored easily. So I liked having different things that I could learn about and write about. Over time, what happened is I didn't become less interested, but I didn't become less interested in the topics, but I became more interested in efficiency. And what I found was that if I wrote about the same thing over and over again, obviously I got better at it. I got faster at it. I had less research to do. So think about those things when you decide to niche. And, you don't need to make that decision right away, despite I know people are banging on that, choose a niche drum. I don't really think that you have to choose a niche right away. And sometimes I think it's not to your advantage because you don't know yet why you should choose and what you should choose. And I hope to help you here because I am over the next few videos going to give you some inside information on some various industries that will hopefully help you to make a choice that suits you. So let's talk about profitable niche number one, which is e-commerce. In e-commerce, there's a lot of different kinds of copy that you could be writing. You could be writing email copy. You might be writing product descriptions. You might be making choices and helping to strategize the buyer's journey. There's lots of opportunity for creating and testing offers and also optimizing copy over time. Think about the landing pages, sales pages, and emails. What we do is, we put them out and we test them. We see how it works. We look at where people land. Where do they stay? Where do they leave? Where do they jump? Where do they get into the copy? And based on that, we tweak and we optimize. Now, e-commerce, you can expect to be pretty busy. Lots of deadlines. You can expect last minute changes. And you can expect to work longer hours around holiday time or around sale time. There could be other spikes in your client's business. They may have a seasonal business. And sometimes that spike, in activity happens like a month or two or before a holiday. Like there are some people who will start their holiday campaigns for December, back in June or July. Depends how organized people are. Good e-commerce clients will typically already have buyer personas, based on what they've been doing up until now. They may be coming to you to do something totally different, but they should have at least some sense of conversion rate, what's happening with this currently, and what doesn't. And consider too that larger marketing teams may have multiple people who weigh in on decisions and copy. And so that's something you want to consider too. Like, what size company do you want to be working with? What size teams? Because if you're working with smaller companies, you tend to work with the owner or maybe a team member. In larger companies, you tend to be working with a CMO. Depending on the company, there could be various department heads involved. There could be a department head and people that work under that department head. So you want to know kind of who you're dealing with before you start the project. Very important, especially if you have a certain size company that you write best for. E-commerce, be on the lookout for short deadlines. They're rolling something out. They're constantly rolling something out. And, we just want to make a little tweak or change. Also, be on the lookout for clients who have unreasonable expectations of conversion rates. Newer clients may think, they may have pie in the sky ideas about what's a real conversion rate. So you want to make sure you've had that down to earth conversation early on, so they know if not what to expect, they'll know what your process is. Despite the fact that this is a pretty busy niche and there's a lot that's deadline driven, remember, if you work in this niche, there are no copy emergencies, right? It can be really easy to get wound up, especially with people who don't have their shit together and make a lot of last minute decisions. It can be really, really a headache for the copywriter. So that's kind of important, is to know how people work. And I've worked in e-commerce. I've worked with really small startups. I have worked with big established companies. I find it really interesting because a lot of e-commerce people are very marketing savvy and marketing focused. And I tend to like those clients. I like to work with the clients who are operating at a little higher level where they're testing and they're optimizing and they have a sense of what they're doing and why. And there can be good clients who just haven't done that yet and are trying to bring those things to bear in their business now, and they can also make good clients. And typically, I would say this is probably across the board, and certainly in e-commerce, people are looking for copywriters, that have new angles and new big ideas. So even in some of the really well-established companies where they may have a CMO, they may have copywriters on staff, there comes a time where either they're out of fresh ideas, they've all been, going over the same content forever and they're out of ideas, or they've got, a deadline and they just don't have enough, they don't have enough brains on the project and they want some outside help. So those are two situations in larger organizations that you might find yourself in. And if you appreciate yourself, you might find yourself in an ongoing relationship, even if they bring you on for a crunch. If you impress them and do a really good job, they may keep you on as a contractor. So I hope that that's helpful. Think about, when you're thinking about a niche, think about what you like to do. What kind of copy do you like to write? What kind of clients do you want to work with? And what do you want to write about? Because the other thing that I really believe is that we all write much better copy when we actually have some conviction and belief behind the product. I personally can't write for something I don't believe in. It's, the copy comes out as crap. It's not at all compelling because clearly I'm not moved by it. I can't move others by it. So I hope that helps. If you have questions about other niches, pop them below. Happy to answer. And I'll be covering other niches in the coming weeks. So keep an eye out. And in fact, if you'd like to be notified when those other niching episodes drop, just hit the bell and you will be notified. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.